Lisa. I am Quiva. I am the Student Engagement Officer here at AHEAD. I recently started with AHEAD, and this is my first project that I've been working with. I'm really excited for everyone to come and learn a bit together, um, be it something you already know or something that you didn't have any clue about. This is kind of what these 2 days are about. It's about learning to advocate for yourself, learning to advocate for others, and educate yourself and everything else about disability rights and advocacy. Oh, there's so many people in the waiting room. I'm so nervous. So exciting. How are you feeling, Lisa? Are you feeling nervous?
I am a
You're
little
so
bit.
used to this though.
I mean, it never really gets easier, I think, in the initial stages, kind of when you're waiting for people to join and everything. But no, it's great to be here. I'm really, really excited for it. I've like been a participant and like watching, like everyone else is here watching, Power of Disability for years and years. So it's really cool to be in a MC role today. And yeah, just like we've said, I'm really, really excited to see what we can bring to the table this year. Every year is always so different with Power of Disability, but I think we're always still united in the main idea of coming together, empowering ourselves as disabled people or people who are allies that just want to learn more. And I think it's going to be really, really powerful if you excuse the pun. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it. And yeah, I'm so glad that so many people are coming out and joining us.
Yeah, thank you. I'm also going to introduce Erica, who is
Yeah.
the wonderful education manager. Yes, hello.
Hi, everyone. Welcome here today. It's actually over 5 years of Power Disability. Did you know that, Quiva? I
Yeah,
believe
I knew
this
it
is
was
the
I
sixth
knew
or
it was
seventh year.
5 or 4 this year. I couldn't tell if it was
Yeah,
the
it's
anniversary.
exciting. And it's probably one of our most valued and probably one of our most exciting events that we run alongside with USI, just because it's such a powerful way to capture the student voice, to hear and kind of actually listen to the students. So really exciting and really, really looking forward to the next couple of days with all of you here today. Because it's a student-centered event, shortly I'm gonna hop out of here and leave you in the willing and capable hands of Lisa and Quiva, who will be your lead MCs for the next couple of days. They'll be really fun and really exciting and really interactive as well. So you're lucky you get to be stuck with them for the next couple of days. But before I get out of here, just a few bits on accessibility. So there are captioners available thanks to Judith. So if you go to your Zoom toolbar and click on the 3 dots on the bottom, you'll be able to turn on your captions. Should you need them or should you like to use them, they're available to you. Also, if you have any sort of tech issues, we have a few wonderful wizards in the background working tech support. So if you find Danielle's name in the participants, you can ask her any tech questions that you may have and she'll do her best to answer those. But it's important to remember once again that we're here for you. This event is all about the participants. It's not about us. It's about students and student voice. So any issues or anything you're having trouble with, feel free to reach out and let us know. Once again, we're going to try to be staying on time. So we do ask that you try to stay muted throughout the presentations just to keep noise down. But of course, we want this to be interactive, like I said, so you can use the chat. You can also raise your hand at the end of presentations if you'd like to ask a question. And just remember that this is your event. So if anything's unclear or if you'd like to raise any issues, feel free to use the chat or get in touch with us. I also just want to shout out a wonderful AHEAD and USI team who have been responsible for putting this event together. Quiva, like she mentioned, is only in the door at AHEAD and has already pulled this together in a few short weeks, which is really amazing. And I think, yeah, I know you're a bit nervous, Quiva, but I think no need for the nerves. It'll all be over tomorrow and it'll be a kind of really powerful and student-led event, which is so exciting.
Don't say it's going to be over tomorrow. That means, oh, that's actually so sad.
Until next year, until
Yeah,
next year's
until
Power
next
Disability,
year.
which
But
will be
gosh, the end of an era already. That's so bizarre.
yeah. We also have AHEAD tech support people in the background working hard, as well as moral support people. So all of the AHEAD team has really come together for this event. So thanks to everyone involved, and especially Quiva and Lisa, who are going to be wonderful MCs, as well as James, who is there as well. So thanks to
It was
everyone
at
there.
a watch party. Thank you,
Yeah,
James, for organizing the watch
exactly.
parties.
That's my next point, is a shout out, massive shout out to our watch parties. Hope you're watching and I hope you're partying. So there's Trinity, Maynooth, and UCC all on this call. So hello to you. Welcome in person from these watch parties. So super exciting. Really looking forward to being here. And with that, I think that's all. I might hand you back over to Quiva and Lisa, who might talk you through our jam-packed day today. Really exciting stuff going on, all student-centered and student-run, and we're just kind of observers here, so really looking forward to it. Take it away, Quiva and Lisa, whenever you're ready.
Yeah, cool. Okay, so Lisa, I might get you to introduce yourself first.
Yeah, absolutely.
Just a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, absolutely. So hi everyone. My name is Leesa Flynn. For those of you who don't know me, I'm a newly qualified primary school teacher. Just finished my master's in Maynooth University. So shout out to Maynooth. I know that you guys are watching. So yeah, I am a wheelchair user myself. I suppose feel like I can kind of relate to the student experience because I've lived it through a disabled lens, and that's kind of what I do in my advocacy work and try to bring that to the table. I'm the recently assigned co-chair alongside the lovely James Curry for the Student with Disabilities Advisory Group, which is run by AHEAD and USI. So yeah, as I said, I've been to so many of these para-disability conferences over the years, and I've enjoyed every single one of them. So I'm absolutely honoured to be one of your MCs today. We've got a jam-packed 2 days, but the 2 days are going to absolutely fly because I just know there's going to be so many interesting lectures on, and I'm so excited for you to meet all of our wonderful guest speakers. And yeah, just really excited for the 2 days to come. And thank you all so much for being here with us.
Amazing. Okay. I know I introduced myself at the start, but I might just do it again really quickly
Go for
for
it.
those who are joining late. I'm Quiva. I'm the Student Engagement Officer here at AHEAD. I've only started in November, so go easy on me. Please. No, I'm just kidding. I'm absolutely loving the role. It's been such a whirlwind, but it's been really good. Yeah, I am currently studying my master's in art and social action at NCAD, and I'm working here part-time. And I'm really passionate about students with disabilities and the student experience as a disabled person. That's one of my main interests in college, as well as I have experience of working in the Students' Union in NCAD. So I worked there for 2 years. Any union heads out there, respect. But yeah, no, it was brilliant experience. Best job I ever had until now, I suppose. And yeah, just really looking forward to this event. So excited. And I hope you guys are too. Let me try and see if this is working. So the program overview is The Power of Disability is a 2-day online event that will include discussions, presentations, and a feedback session encouraging students with disabilities to be leaders on their own campus and build practical skills on self-advocacy and constructive advocacy. So we're going to go through day 1, which is focusing on student empowerment and advocacy with an introduction to the Students with Disabilities Advisory Group, a session about postgraduate advocacy. And I just realized that the legal session has been moved to tomorrow, and that is incorrect. We are also having a prepping for the workplace event today. We are then having a comfort break from 12:35 to 12:55, and we will join back together and have the postgraduate session. So we're going to start with our lovely Student with Disabilities Advisory Group meeting. So I might get all the Students with Disabilities Advisory Group committee to voice themselves or raise their hands so we can get a little introduction. We'll come to you in a sec. I'll just give a bit of a brief overview of what the Students with Disabilities Advisory Group is. Students with Disabilities Advisory Group is, oh, sorry, excuse me. Sorry, I just lost where I'm going. Excusez-moi. Okay. The event today was organised by the beautiful and wonderful Students with Disabilities Advisory Group, which I have met since I started this job. So the Students with Disabilities Advisory Group comes together for a year, and they put themselves forward and they work together to create and inform events and policy and research in AHEAD. So we have a lot of members here today who are going to introduce themselves. We have very diverse students. All of these students come from higher education and FET centres. So we have a very diverse range. I think we've got 5 FET, 5 undergrad and 5 postgrads, if I'm not mistaken, which is a really nice dispersion throughout the group. The wonderful James over there in the USI manager account and Lisa are our co-chairs of the group. We meet once every few months to discuss issues on the ground that students are facing in their current college setting. The students of the advisory group gather information from other students and bring it back to us. We then work on kind of resolutions or meet together to discuss why it's an issue and what we can do and be proactive about it. then we also have had a huge, the group has also had a huge influence on the development of this event. So all of the talks were kind of modeled after we had a really big brainstorming session together, where we decided what we wanted to see, why we wanted to see it, and what was relevant to students today. Yeah, I don't know if everyone wants to introduce themselves. Leesa, you've already had to go, so I might let James introduce himself first, and then we'll go to the rest of the group, if that's okay.
Absolutely, take it away, James.
Yeah. Hi, everyone. My name is James Curry. I'm the USI Vice President for Equality and Citizenship. Sorry if it's a bit echoey. I just got into a side room because I'm in the Trinity watch party. But yeah, I suppose a little bit about me. So my pronouns are he, him. I studied in TU Dublin Tala campus doing sports science and health. I oh, sorry, my Zoom is just doing that. Yeah, now I'm at the national level of the student politics, student movement. Very exciting. I was very honored to work with Leesa and Quiva and with the Students with Disability Advisory Group to plan this event. And I'm very excited to see what the kind of next few days will kind of entail. Yeah, it's kind of all it is.
Fabulous. Great. I might let me see who I can see first. Alexa, you're the first person on my screen, so I'll get you to introduce yourself.
Sure. Hi, everyone. I'm so grateful to be here. Thanks for having me. My name's Alexa. My pronouns are she, her. I'm doing an MA in Gender Studies part-time in UCD. I'm very interested in learning how to support neurodivergent people generally and women who are assessed in later life in particular. I joined the panel because I was assessed for autism last year, and it made me sad and angry that it took 40 years to figure out why the world felt so much more confusing than my family and friends seemed to. Now I want to do everything I can to help other neurodivergent people to live their best lives, which is why it's one of the reasons I started the Neurogender podcast, which is about gendered aspects of neurodivergent academic research. I'm really looking forward to speaking on the panel at 1 with Vivian and the NDPAC about postgraduate experiences. Thanks, Quiva and everyone. You're all amazing.
Amazing. Thank you, Alexa. Dermot, you're next on my screen. Let's hear from you.
So, hi everyone. My name is Dermot Hanna. My pronouns are he, him. I'm studying medicine in University College Cork. So I'd say two things that I'm passionate about. I'm really into, I suppose, bringing forward invisible disabilities, and I'm really interested in student advocacy and activism. I suppose I wanted to join the panel because I wanted to play my part in bringing, I suppose, the voices of people with invisible disabilities to the table. And I'm really interested, I suppose, in James Curry's talk, person you just heard from, his presentation on student advocacy and activism later today. Or no, tomorrow. It's tomorrow. I think it's tomorrow. It's tomorrow.
You're right. It is tomorrow, which I'm actually really looking forward to as well, because I am a union head through and through. Unfortunately, it doesn't seem to leave the body after you've done it. And I would recommend anyone who's interested in student politics sorry, I just seen James's message where he thought it was today as well. If you are interested in student politics, you totally go for it. It's so much fun and it's a great experience. But anyways, we'll move on to the next person. The next person I can see in the group is Sinead Lynch, please.
Hello, sorry, I couldn't remember how to unmute there for a second. As Quiva said, I'm Sinead Lynch and my pronouns are she, her. So I'm doing a PhD in DCU at the moment. I'm researching students with disabilities and online education. And I chose that because I was an online education student with a disability, and I did a psychology degree and just finished it there last year. And I just found it really interesting that there is such a difference between in-person education and online education, and the differences in things like accommodations and needs and personal experiences. So that's why I wanted to look at that in my research, and also why I wanted to join the Students with Disabilities Advisory Group, because I think online education can kind of be, because it's so small, it can be kind of put to one side a little bit. So I wanted to bring those voices forward. I am really looking forward, like Alexa, to the postgrad community talk later on today that I'm also a part of. So hopefully I'll see some people there.
Thank you so much, Sinead. Erin, I'm going to put you on the spot now because you're next on my screen.
Hello, everyone. My name is Erin, and I am a student at Maynooth University, and my pronouns are she, her. I study law at Maynooth, and I'm in my final year. So I'm passionate about this. Excuse me, I'm a bit sick at the moment, so if my voice is going, I apologize for that. But I joined this group as I'm passionate about creating more inclusive environments for students with disabilities across different educational settings. And I thought this was a brilliant opportunity to do so alongside other students who are just as passionate. And yeah, I'm just excited to continue working alongside AHEAD and keep working towards our goals to create more inclusive environments.
I just want to say that's serious dedication there from Erin if she can barely speak and she's still coming to a talk where she has to speak. So thank you so much for coming. Really appreciate that. Orla, I have you next on my screen if you don't mind going next.
Yeah, so hi, I'm Orla. I'm studying an office skills course in the National Learning Network in Limerick. And I'm an artist, so I'm very passionate about art, and I use my art to raise money for autism charities because I found out that I'm autistic over 2 years ago. And I joined the group because I'm at the start of kind of learning about disability, and I'm very passionate about advocating for other disabled students as well as myself. And I'm very fortunate to be part of a diverse group of people that encourage me to share my story, and we share each other's stories, and I'm very looking forward to seeing what the group does throughout the year and where we go. And I'm looking forward to the See It to Be It panel. Yes.
Thank you so much, Orla. That's great. Yeah, no, I think the community that we've actually built together as an advisory group is so valuable this year because you guys are so enthusiastic and engaged that it actually really motivates me to do better for you guys, because like my role would not be anything without you, without the advisory group. So I think the community that we've created so far is really astonishing considering the short amount of time. And I'm really excited for what else we're going to do for the rest of the year as well. Who is next on my list of SwDAG members? Rachel, I have you here. Are you ready to go?
Hi, I'm Rachel. I'm doing a master's at the minute at Ulster University, and the reason that I joined was because I've always been so passionate about activism. Whenever I was at Queen's, I helped set up a society for disabled students called QB Inclusion to sort of create a space for students to socialise that was more accessible. And I found student activism quite hard to get into with having a chronic illness and doing physical things like marches and protests. So I thought it was really useful to have this space, to have, an online activism space as well. And I'm in work today, but I'm going to sort of jump in and out as many talks as I can.
Sorry, I just muted myself. Thank you so much, Rachel. That's amazing. And really appreciate you coming here, even though you're working. That's dedication to the cause as well. And who have I not kissed yet? I am still looking. Joseph McLaughlin, I see you hiding in the Zoom call. Get out here.
Right, okay, I wasn't hiding, first of all. So, I'm Joseph McLaughlin. My pronouns are he, him. I'm currently undertaking a preliminary engineering course in SwDAG and Coolock with the intention of going to do engineering in DCU next year. So I didn't want to jump straight into the engineering in university. I don't have an awful lot of experience with student advocacy. I often found it I didn't really know enough about it at first, and I found this would be a good opportunity to get my foot in the door and then meet lots of like-minded people with various different needs, disabilities, and then maybe I could share some of my thoughts, and then they can share some of their thoughts to me as well. And that's I'm really looking forward to the assistive ICT talk in particular, just because I know there are ways I use tech has changed over the few years, and then I know many other people who use tech to help with their disabilities.
Amazing. Thank you. We're really looking forward to that talk as well by the wonderful Stephen Bradley, who I'm going to ask to introduce himself if he wouldn't mind.
Hi, Stephen.
Hi, Stephen. How are you?
Hey. Hi, where's that?
No, you're good. You're good. We can hear you.
Hi, my name is Stephen Bradley. As the lads have mentioned, I'm studying community development in MTU, and as a few of the members have mentioned already, I am doing a talk on assistive technology later on today, and as well, one of the reasons why I'm passionate about joining the group was because I'm in my final year of the course, but they've added on a fourth year. But I'm doing my research dissertation on education of experiences of people with disabilities from education to labour market, a case study of the challenges facing disabled adults. So this would be right up my alley to try and get more information for my research and try and get more information from employers on how they can assist disabled individuals to gain access to employment, basically.
Amazing. Thank you, Stephen. That sounds like an amazing dissertation as well. I didn't know that's what your dissertation was about.
Yeah, it's
fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. That's amazing. I think that's everyone from the SwDAG. Or Luna, I see you there. I almost missed you. I'm so sorry. Excusez-moi.
Hi everyone. My name is Luna. My pronouns are they, them. I'm currently studying level 5 in software development in the Cork College of FET Morrison's Island campus. And I wanted to join this group because I wanted more opportunities to talk about what I'm passionate about and make change. And just I can't remember, last summer came up on Instagram and I was like, oh, this would be awesome, because being in a PLC college, there's not as many of those groups and whatnot, so it's a diverse group of people from all different places, which was nice. And probably the talk I'm looking forward to most is one on WAM, because I've heard of that before and I'm not really sure what it's about.
Amazing. Thank you. Well, WAM is one of our projects that we run in AHEAD. It is been going since 2005, as well as the Get Ahead program, and it offers graduates with disabilities the benefit of a 6-month minimum fully paid and mentored work experience, or internship, I suppose. It's really, really good. It's our last talk of the day. But that was our advisory group, I believe. If I've missed anyone, please raise your hand, because I absolutely don't want to miss anyone from the great group. Everyone is playing an absolute blinder in the group, and everyone is so engaged, and it's just so much fun to be a part of. We really do feel like we're getting the most out of it this year, which is so beneficial for the development of events like this and the development of the research and policy making at AHEAD, which is what the advisory group was created for. Okay. I suppose, guys, we have until 11:45 to talk about the advisory group. If anyone wants to mention anything in particular that they are really glad that they did with the group, or anything that they're really interested in developing with the group, we'll let you get it in now. I know for a fact I'm really interested in our final meeting, which we will hopefully get to do in person. I would really, really love to do that and have an activity day of some sort. Finally get to meet all together and hang out. But that's way into the future, so I have no details yet. Brilliant. Cool. I might do a little presentation on the power of disability and the development of the power of disability really quickly. Just to show you what the group did. If I can find the PowerPoint now. Apologies. Cool. Here we go. I'm just going to share my screen really quickly. And Lisa, I might get you to chat about your experience with the SwDAG group while I'm figuring this out.
Absolutely, Yeah, so as I said, I've been a member of the SwDAG group now. I keep calling it the SwDAG group. We were joking earlier about
Yeah, we were joking, and now it's become a
just
real thing.
SWDAG, and we're like swag. But yeah, no, I've been a member now for a couple of years. I started off the academic year before last as I was working as part of Maynooth Student Union Senate as the DARE senator. So for those of you who don't know, DARE is Disability Access Route to Education. And so through that, I met some lovely people who were also involved with AHEAD and the Student with Disability Advisory Group, and that's how I got involved. And as kind of has already been kind of touched on, it's such an empowering group to be part of. I feel like oftentimes when you're a student with a disability of any sort in third level education, in whatever avenue that is, that sometimes it can feel very isolating, in that you feel like you're the only one who has those struggles, and you feel like other people don't really understand it, especially if you're surrounded by non-disabled peers and colleagues. So I feel like the real community piece is really like prominent in the Student with Disability Advisory Group, and that we all come together. We all have, even though we might have it in different ways, we have an overall shared experience of navigating, I suppose, third level education as a disabled student. So I feel like it's really empowering in that way. And you know, it's just a way of us kind of all coming together, seeing what issues are on the ground, having the disabled voice heard, which I think is a really, really important piece in it, as well as having our own voices heard, and just kind of navigating how we're going to resolve those issues and how we can go about it and how we can make some really positive and progressive change in the disabled community. We always mention as well, just as a disclaimer, we are the Student with Disability Advisory Group. Obviously, we know that that comes into a much larger debate of person first versus identity first language. However, when we were naming the group, we had to come up with something. So whether you identify as a disabled person or a person with a disability, or neither, or both, as the case may be, some people use them interchangeably. We are open to everybody and all forms of identity in terms of disability as well. So just to kind of touch on that as well, because I know that's kind of been a question that's come up over the last couple of years as well. So yeah, I hope I explained that correctly.
Sorry, I was muted there. That was absolutely amazing. Thank you so much. I'll do a quick share of my screen. Can you guys see that?
Yeah, perfect.
So I'm only going to share the first 3 slides, so ignore the contents. But some ideas from the flag that I thought would be brilliant to bring forward that you guys came up with that we then put into practice for the event. So we have a lot of students with disabilities in further and higher education who are interested in student advocacy, politics, accessibility. The group meets 4 to 5 times a year, except for our one-time online or in-person, I mean. And we discuss issues on the ground, including highlighting legislative changes and providing feedback to the work that AHEAD and USI does. So ideas from the first meeting we had, which was only on the 29th of November. Can you believe it, Lisa? It was actually so quick.
That's madness.
In such a short amount of time. I know, but because it's been Christmas, it's been like really jolted, actually.
Yeah,
But
still.
the guys in the event recommended that we do a hybrid event, which is where we got the idea for the watch parties. So anyone in the watch party there, thank the SwDAG group. We also, oh, I apologize, I did something weird with my screen. We wanted to talk about the experiences of women in the workplace who are neurodivergent and how to advocate for your needs, general activism and advocacy, constructive techniques to use, discussions on stigma and experiences, addressing stigma, a student panel, which we just had the group do, which went really well. I'm actually really happy with it. Some getting involved in student politics and research techniques, formal diagnosis versus a self-diagnosis, and self-care and preventing burnout. So those were some of the ideas that the group experienced. And it was really, really good to get that kind of feedback from them to help develop the events that we now have coming up in the next 2 days. Yeah, I just want to thank everyone. Does anyone have any questions for the panel? Any members of the audience have any questions for the panel?
You can just drop them in the chat box if you want to, and we can read them out or whatever.
Yeah, you can chat them, you can voice them, whichever you would like. Fair enough. I feel like I kind of talked at everyone there for like a solid 20 minutes, so there are probably no questions after I've explained everything. Great.
Would you mind if I asked the question, Caoimhe?
Vivian, I would welcome a question from you any day.
Yeah. Well, I have a little bit of experience of being on different groups, and I was really interested to hear about the group in Ulster University that focused on social engagement. That I can't remember the name of the girl that highlighted it there, but anyhow, that was brilliant, and it was really interesting to hear the diverse range of people you have on the advisory committee and loads of different Queen's. Ulster, is it Queen's? What's the name of the group? Sorry, I missed it there. It popped up. But anyhow, so the key is that there's such an interesting group of people on the advisory committee. Leesa, as the chair, I'm just wondering, you know, what do you think are the main kind of priorities for the group going into the new year, and how do you balance all of those priorities?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's such a vast question, as you know yourself, representing disabled students. But I feel like the main piece that we really try and highlight in the group is hearing the student, or having the disabled student voice heard, and making sure that the decisions that are made with the disabled voice in mind. I mean, oftentimes, as we know ourselves, having disabilities and being in third level education, it's oftentimes people who have never experienced disability that are making all the decisions and what is accessible and what isn't. So I think having that lived experience is the most important thing. And prioritizing that and moving forward is really, really important. And I think as long as we can kind of continue to do that, and we're building up our our members, and we're getting the voice from on the ground heard, I think then it's always going to be positive change. It's always going to be progressive. Because the needs of disabled students are always changing and are always progressive. And I suppose it's just about being open-minded to that and making sure that we're continuing to respect that and have that heard. It's definitely a priority.
Yeah, and I was just wondering as well, when we mentioned there about social engagement aspect, and everybody knows that I am really big into social engagement. Yeah. Because it helps to create a sense of belonging, and that I know when I was in college there wasn't much opportunities to be as socially engaged as you might like to be, like especially when it came to playing sports. And I'm just wondering, I suppose there's two things. Maybe this is a question for the advisory group generally. Do they think that do they think colleges are improving in relation to the supporting the social engagement of disabled students? And what more maybe do they think they could do?
Yeah, well, if I could just jump on that first of all, because absolutely, I completely agree with you. It is oftentimes we kind of put so much emphasis on the academic side of just kind of getting through and surviving college that social aspect is lost. I do feel, obviously, being a wheelchair user through college, that the likes of clubs and societies were so important in me integrating myself into college. And I do feel like throughout my time in college, I've been there for quite a long time now. I feel like it has definitely evolved and progressed. I feel like even that piece of opening up the conversation with non-disabled peers of what students with disabilities need in order to be integrated socially into college, and socially integrated into society in general. I feel like it's just really important to that's not a taboo subject, that people feel like they can't ask someone to join whatever club in society because they're in a wheelchair, they wouldn't be able to do that. I think it's really, really important to kind of open up that conversation of adapting it. And obviously in my work as a teacher, that's always something that's really prevalent as well, that I've seen as well in my career, that it's really important that we're adapting all the time, that we are making things work for the disabled student, that they are included, because that social aspect is so important in evolving, I feel like, as a person throughout third level education, definitely. But definitely I'd love to hear if anybody else on the panel has any insight or experience.
I think Rachel has come in. Rachel, I'm delighted to see you've made a comment there in relation to the group. Quiva, do you want to grab that comment that Rachel has put in?
Yeah, so Rachel just said on QUB Inclusion, it was set up during COVID by a group of students with disabilities who felt like the social life wasn't accessible. They ran for a few years and all of the founding members have graduated now, but a new group of students have taken it over, which is so good to hear. That it's continuing throughout, people graduating and continuing to grow despite the people that have developed it. The seed is planted, it's great. Dara and Alexa, I see your hands are raised. I'll go to Dara first, if that's okay, Alexa.
So I'm not sure, Alexa, if you wanted to come in on this particular subject, because I was going to ask a different question. So feel free to jump in if you wanted to respond to this particular topic, did you?
Yeah, I just wanted to say one thing about setting up neurodiversity societies in colleges. I know Trinity are doing an incredible job championing societies around all the other places, or universities and campuses. And so it's same with DCU. The problems I've come across in UCD is there appears to be a conflict of whether a society would support in a way that conflicts with how disability and access are supporting. So they're very anxious to make sure that there's no therapeutic support offered of any kind, but trying to explain to them that students coming together under an umbrella of some form of disability or neurodivergence is not going to offer the same kind of support as disability and access. But trying to explain that is just such an uphill battle. And just to point that out and to say, keep trying, keep going, power to everyone trying.
Great word there, Alexa, power. Yes.
No
pun intended.
Yeah, no, it's okay. I might jump in. That's brilliant, Alexa. It's just so exciting to hear about the different groups there. It's brilliant to hear about the one in Queens, and I know of lots of others in other colleges. And I was just wondering, would the panel have any ideas, or indeed the audience have any ideas about how we could sort of connect the conversations that are happening inside the advisory group with those other, conversations that are happening at a local level? And I know obviously this forum is one way to do that. But maybe is there any other ideas about how that could happen? And I don't know, maybe AHEAD could support in some way.
I can jump in there if you want.
Yeah, go for it, Stephen.
Yeah, just to let you know that, like, from a sporting side of things, the Munster Technology University College is very open to people with disabilities on the sports side of things, because as I'm going to mention, I didn't mention it already, but I'm going to mention it. I'm with the Irish Wheelchair Association as well through sport, and my college, which is Munster Technology University, have twice recognised me for a sports scholarship. As I've said already, I am a disabled student with CP, so that shows that there is colleges out there that are willing to go ahead and bring people with disabilities into their sporting activities and highlight their achievements. I don't know if it's happening in any other colleges, but I know MTU are very forward thinking in these situations.
It's amazing. Thank you so much for that, Stephen. That's really, really good. And it's congratulations on getting nominated for those. It's really cool. I've never been nominated for any sports. I'm not a very sporty person personally, but more of a sit down person, if that makes sense. Dermot, you have your hand raised. Go for it. Oh, you're muted. I'm sorry.
I suppose trying to tackle what you were saying there, Dara, about trying to get the discussions that are happening in the working group into college or universities or any other higher education. I know other external bodies like ones that maybe operate for like European colleges and stuff, or like European bodies. What they normally do is that they'll run maybe a competition in each university or college or higher education to try and elect a coordinator for that college. And then that coordinator, I suppose, is tasked with trying to disseminate information and running events in relation to, I suppose, the organization that they're attached to. So if you wanted to maybe tie that into, I suppose, the role of someone in the working group, maybe that could be something that is added to the working group in future, or it could maybe be a separate role that, every year there's maybe a competition for, could we get a coordinator for each college? And then that coordinator is tasked with, I suppose, getting events running on the ground and spreading information, I suppose, in this case, about AHEAD and what AHEAD's vision and events or, his goals are. Yeah.
Thanks. That's a great suggestion, Dermot, to explore for the next iteration. I think just having some more formal structure around those, disseminating those topics around.
This is kind of random, but I was recently at an event called Fail Check for teachers, and it was, I don't know if you've actually ever been to it, Lisa. It was on during the summer, but it's a learning and teaching festival, and it was on in the school, and I went to a talk that was about esports as a subject in school, which I'd never heard of, and it was very, very interesting. And I'd never even thought of it before, but it's much sorry, much is the wrong word. It's such an interesting thing to bring forward because not only is it accessible for everyone, it's also a different type of team play. And I think it's really good for networking and community building. That's kind of random, but I just want to thank everyone for their great contributions in the panel today. We'll probably wrap it up and we'll let Dara and Richie set up for their talk now. If you guys want to go and get a cup of tea or a glass of water, I just want to say well done to all of the SwAG members. Very swaggy today, really appreciate it. You're all absolute stars and I'm so grateful to be in the group with you.
Amazing, guys. Thank you so much for all your contributions.
I'm going to do a clap emoji because I don't want to clap in anyone's ears. But thanks so much. And I don't know, did we decide, Dara or Richie, who's screen sharing?
Yeah, I think Richie's going to screen share. So I think we'll just give you 5 minutes if you want to take a
we'll let
comfort break.
everyone, stretch the legs, get a cup of tea.
So we'll be back here at 11:45.
11:45, please, guys. Thank you.